Okay. There's
Hello,
no
Kaunda.
problem.
Now we are online. Now
Yes,
the
sir.
recording
Okay.
is.
That's good. Yeah, you asked me about my biography.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, as I told you earlier, I wanted to correct myself earlier because I said I was 67. Actually, it should have been 57, not
Yeah,
67, because I was born in 1953. eh.
that's good.
So
Yeah.
from 1953, of course, I went through primary, and I went through secondary, and then I went to college training to become a teacher. And of course, I got that training from Makerere University. Now, after completing the diploma course as a teacher,
Yeah.
so I came out. So when I came out, of course, with the background of knowledge in accountancy, I was engaged as a bursar
Mm-hmm.
in Toro Senior Secondary School.
Mm-hmm.
After completing the period of about 3 years in being a bursar,
Mm-hmm.
so I left the school and I joined Skanska Jensen International Company, and I was employed as the bursar. I was employed as a purchasing officer.
Mm-hmm.
So I did work there for about 3 years also. Then the company wound up the activities in Uganda. They went somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Now, from the point when I'm back to Tororo, that is when I started teaching seriously. Of course, as I was teaching, I was given also responsibility as a classroom teacher,
Mm-hmm.
and of course, other extra curriculum activities which I had to handle.
Yeah.
From there, I went to from one school, I taught for good years, 5 good years. Then I went to another school also, whereby I was engaged in teaching seriously. So for the rest of my life, most of the time I spent in the classroom. Okay?
Yeah. I
Now,
understand.
I got that experience for a long period of time. Of course, with the sociability, I've got no problem with teachers. They are so amicable. I just enjoy teaching in the classroom.
Yeah.
That much I know.
Yeah.
So when pardon?
Yeah.
For those years I've been spending in teaching. And of course, you realize that you do other extra work when requested by the head teacher. So there are so many of that. But of
Mm-hmm.
course, as I continue teaching, I reached to the point that this is the time I should now, because when you are 50 years onwards, of course, you need to give yourself room to do other activities. So when I completed teaching, then I came back home and I felt that now, with this knowledge which I have and the experience I have in teaching, why can't I not utilize it in instilling education in a community? So
Yeah.
I decided to go to Osukuro parish, where I settled and got a school there. I talked to the landlord. I shared my idea with him. He said, "You are welcome." So he gave me the premises where I began Norris Nursery and Primary School.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I had to introduce myself also to the authority of Osukuro. Osukuro, what do I call it? Osukuro Sub-County Authority,
Mm-hmm.
to know my existence and activities which I was going to do in Osukuro.
Mm-hmm.
So to that extent, I'm very comfortable with the authorities.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they allowed me to start schooling which I did it throughout 2019, right from February, right? So
Yeah.
when I finished the year, of course, we closed it last year. We are for holidays as I speak.
Mhm.
I'm sure by the 3rd Feb 2020, all the schools in Uganda will be open.
Mhm.
Okay?
That's all over
Now,
the country.
yeah, all over the country. Perhaps I've missed some parts which you would like to know about me. You can ask.
I'm pretty sure there's much more, right?
Surely, surely.
Yes, yes. I believe this. That's very interesting that you have that much experience in this field. In the first two charity video challenges, I was asked for support by very young teachers. They were younger men, I think in the mid 30s, maybe. I think the first one used to be 30 years and the other one maybe a few years older. What is your experience? What is your opinion about the teachers in Uganda, in Africa? Do you have a lot of teachers, or is it a profession that's not that often?
No, the government of Uganda turn up thousands of teachers, thousands of teachers. And of course, you'll find that the schools are not enough to accommodate so many teachers which are turned up. Really. And in fact, there are so many teachers who are unemployed because the schools are not enough.
Yeah, of
You
course,
see?
of
Yeah,
course.
and then the schools even, the school itself may not be enough to take all the necessary teachers, those qualified teachers, not all.
Yeah.
Even though here in Uganda we have got what is called UPE, Universal Primary School
Hmm.
Education, you see? But
Hmm.
you'll find that the number of people overwhelm the number of teachers.
Of course.
You'll find that there are about either 200, 300 pupils in one class.
Wow.
It requires about 2 teachers. It is
Wow.
terrible, madam.
Of course.
So
Of
that's
course.
why I took the advantage of starting a private primary school, which is, I own it in conjunction with the parents because I cannot do it alone. I need to work with the parents of the community.
Of course.
So, in regard to the teachers in the country, there are so many, madam. There are so many, and so many are unemployed. You
Yeah.
see,
Of course.
so
Of
that
course.
is the problem you have around.
Yeah. 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 That's why I was also very seriously how to choose for the charity video challenge. Um, because it is not that easy. You can watch this coin by two sides. You can see, okay, one part is the project. It's very good. I think every time it is good when good adults look for children and have a place for them that they can be together, especially when they get food, especially when they get education. I think it's better than playing all around or need to work or worse things. But the other side of the coin is also the question, maybe this is a project of some persons, they try to collect some money and only pretend to raise up a school project, right? Because it is easier to collect money for this type of activities than others. That's why in the first one, I was really um, afraid to being trapped by people. They only pretend to run this project. But then I become aware that it seems the case that there are a lot of unemployed teachers. They see the need by the children and they have also running projects there. But this seems to be a regular challenge in Uganda and African countries, right?
I
To
see.
have
Yeah,
this misbalance.
yeah, it is true.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because from my point of view, my objective is to eradicate illiteracy, ignorance in the society,
Yeah,
and try as much as possible to do away with poverty level in this community.
of course.
Lastly, when you are ignorant, you are very poor, diseases can attack you at any time because you are not educated, you don't know about your environment, you don't know what to do in any case you're attacked by certain diseases. So I want to impact on this community right from the children starting point. They get education. After that, they are able to recognize diseases which attack them. Because when they are healthy in a good condition, of course, they'll work hard to ensure that they do away with poverty in their household. So those are the things I'm looking at these children.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it is okay or what.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that's it's very important, and I understand healthcare is a subject itself in primary school to raise up the awareness about what is health, which diseases can attack the children, and also how to handle, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And what does it mean in detail? Because I'm pretty sure it is different than for European children. You know, when European children become ill, they know, okay, let's go to the doctor. I like him not. And you know, it is I think there is an awareness of healthcare. It is more about teeth. For us, it is very important to brush your teeth every day and also not to eat too much sweeties. But I'm pretty sure it is different than the type of healthcare you need to educate.
Okay. Okay. What happens here is that, you know, Africans still believe in witchcraft.
Yeah,
So sometimes when a sickness strikes a child, they believe that the child has been bewitched.
yeah,
And of course, this is out of ignorance, not knowing that sickness or diseases come about because of some uh, bacterial infection or virus infection. They have no knowledge about that. So these are the kind of things which actually, when a child is educated, so these are the which I'm working so hard to
yeah,
ensure that that community is enlightened about their environment and what to do when a child falls sick. This
I
is my
understand.
personal experience. I see around in the village, in the community, I move around.
I understand.
And secondly, of course, you realize the poverty level, they are unable actually to treat these children. You see,
Yeah, of course.
it is a bit of a challenge, but at least we need somebody to come and really rescue them from that situation,
Of course, yes.
which I believe, although the government schools are there, the pupils are too many for a teacher to make them understand what he or she is teaching in a classroom. At
Yeah,
the end of the year, most of these children, they come out not knowing anything completely.
yeah. It is.
So the alternative which we are trying to do.
Yeah. It is because of the ratio that you have 200 children and 2 teachers that they are not able to handle the crowd
Yeah,
of pupils there, right? Yeah,
pupils.
yeah, 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 yeah. I can totally understand. I'm also teaching in university bachelor students, Normally we have maybe 20 or 30 with one teacher or with one professor there. And I also know the big sessions where you have those big, how you call it, when you have one professor and they are also sitting sometimes with 100 or 200 students there, but it's totally different because they have a different level of
Well, yes.
attention. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
Yeah. It is true. It is
Mm.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are the prevailing situation here in Uganda.
Yes. Yes.
So although the government want illiteracy for everybody, but they're failing actually to implement what they want to achieve.
Yes. I understand. Yeah. It is more keeping the kids out of the street, right?
Yes, that's true.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And you see, madam, the consequence of these people not going to school,
Mm.
they turn up to become street children.
Yeah.
They become a nuisance, what we call them, the juvenile delinquents.
Mm.
Juvenile delinquents, these are young kids who commit crime, these small crimes around.
Yeah. Yeah.
So actually, unless something is done actually to bring these children to classrooms and properly taught so that they grow up and to become good citizens of the country.
Yes.
And as such, at least crime may be somehow reduced. Those petty crimes can be reduced. And not only that, we are saving them from drug addicts. See? Once they are used at the early stage of taking drugs, they become a serious matter when that child grows up. You'll be having a degree in theft. You'll be having a degree in burglary. You'll be having a degree of all those kind of crimes you can think of.
Mm-hmm.
So before that thing happens up to that level, at least what is the way forward? How can we be concerned? By engaging these young children into proper education, whereby when a person goes up to P7, from P7 to a secondary school, which will take normally 4 years, then 2 more years in higher level before one can join a university.
Yeah.
But you'll find that majority of the children, they reach P7.
Mm-hmm.
Now, going to secondary school, you'll find very few will manage because the cost of the secondary school there, it is a little bit higher, whereby the parents are unable to pay the requirements. So when you go to HSC, that is Senior 5 and Senior 6, those are the two higher institutions. Very few who can reach that level. And of course, these few, some may not make it up to university.
Yeah.
Although there are so many private universities around, but the cost is skyrocketing. It is not so easy. That is it's the nature of our education system.
Yeah. I can understand, and I guess you need to face two problems. One problem is not to have the money for the fees, but the other problem, I guess, is also you need the youngsters to work, to earn income for the family, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And that's why you have two obstacles, that the children are away, not the children, but the young people are away by higher education.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
And of course, you find that also the employment opportunities is very competitive, very competitive. And as such, you'll find that not everybody have the chance to be employed.
Yeah.
So that is it here.
Yeah. You have a very hard separation between educated and uneducated employees.
Yeah.
Mm.
That
Yes,
is true. Yeah.
yes. Diana, thank you. That's a very broad perspective. It's a very
Yeah.
interesting
Yeah.
topic, because it is about education system in
Yes.
Africa, especially Uganda.
Yeah.
Thank you for this insight. It's very good to know, also to hear it with your experience, and to see what does it mean in long terms, and especially in your situation there.
Yeah.
Maybe I think we should have a deeper look on the next days in those question, how you handle the situation if you have some kids with street experiences and all the things. This would be a very interesting topic for me to know, how you handle this in a daily routine when you have those influences by, the normal but not so good influences. We should grab this as a topic for tomorrow, I think. If you want to speak about, maybe for today, the last question should be on the focus. Oh, I missed it. I had the question in my mind and I lost.
Okay.
I lost.
No, no problem.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
many thoughts in my mind.
Yeah, man. It is true.
Yeah,
Perhaps here, I would like to take you back of what we discussed yesterday,
yeah.
because I remember you told me whether I've got any umbrella organization through which actually, if there is any assistance, it can be channeled through it. Yeah,
Mhm,
I've been in contact with the Catholic Church
mhm,
priest,
mhm.
so I tried to share that idea with him. So he
That's
told me I need to go back either in the evening, so that we have got a good ample time to share what I'm doing.
yeah.
I don't know whether it will suit that point when you ask me, you cannot deal with an individual, but at least you need to go through an umbrella organization. Will it work?
Yeah, yeah. I think you should put together both, to do both things, to reach out to the bigger organization. And I think Catholic Church, or I think all the organizations, they have financing by churches, Protestant church, Catholic church. It depends on your region, I guess. But
Yeah.
this is very good to have those umbrella organizations. They can give you support and hopefully also money. And as I see it in Europe and in Germany, as special, is that the bigger organizations, the umbrella organizations, also keep care that you have also a little income stream by individuals.
Okay.
Sometimes they
Yes.
run it by themselves as a Catholic primary school. My daughter, she is on a Catholic primary school. This is
Good.
all covered by a Catholic church, and this is interesting because we are Protestants, evangelisch,
Yes. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
this is very interesting. Because we have here those types. They keep care that the churches work together, that they focus, that all the people, they are in religious interest, that they should live together, they should learn together, they want to educate them together, make no difference between Catholic and Muslims. And yes, and this,
Yeah, that is what we do. That is what we do here.
yeah,
That's what we do. We don't segregate. That
yeah,
is a Protestant, this is a Catholic, or this is a Muslim, this is a Pentecostal. No,
yeah,
we don't have that idea. We are just universal.
yeah. And I appreciate it very much. Sorry, I could not understand. We had a little freeze.
The sound goes off. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, yes, now I hear you.
Okay. Okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are trying to tell me that.
Yeah, I was telling you that my daughter, she is on a Catholic school, and that's run, all the costs are, not all, but the main costs are covered by Catholic Church. It is one of their welfare organization parts. They have a lot. They have elder care, they have schools, la 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 la. And they have also a little funding by the parents. It's very less according to other private schools here in Germany. But very often it is also the case that you should have so-called free legs, you know, free
Okay.
free
Yeah.
legs, like a chair, to say you should have
Yeah.
your own income stream if possible. For schools, this is not that easy to have an own income stream. It means fees by the parents. Then you should have funding by bigger organizations like Catholic Church and so on. And you should have also an additional income stream by donors, individual donors. They support the school project.
Yeah.
Very often here, they run it with, how you call it, those type of organizations where the people are interested. When you have those interested people there together in a community organization type, and say, okay, we are friends of the school project, and we pay a monthly fee or something, monthly donation to give
To
a
support
regularly support to
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think it makes a lot of sense in nonprofit management to say, okay, this should be carried by the community, not only by the government, not only by bigger organizations. It should be rooted into the community, that also the parents give a little bit in those very less fees, but also the stronger supporters of the community. And it makes sense to arrange this in this way. But of course, it is not that easy in your regions here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it depends a lot on the income level of the community members. It depends a lot of the education level of the community members. And I guess there can be a difference. And Keika, you know, we lost you, but
Yeah.
you're back. Nice.
Well, that is internet. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's it makes it interesting.
It is true.
Also for us,
It
which
is
part
true.
is recorded, right? Yes.
Well, whatever it is there recorded, it is welcome,
Yes.
isn't it?
You're right.
Yeah.
You're totally right. And I think for today we should find the end. And I would ask you if you can you hear me, Kaunda? We have a little freeze. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm hearing you well.
That's nice. Yes.
Yeah.
I said maybe it's good that we make for today the end, because we had a lot of topics here, also to sort the topics a little bit out for later. But I wanted to ask you if you could watch also this interview, and when you see we had a freeze where we could not understand you, maybe it's good that you can add a comment under the YouTube video, that
Okay.
because you know what you wanted to explain. And if you see there is no sound because we had a lag in the internet connection.
Interruption.
Yeah, an interruption. Thank you.
Yeah.
It would be good when you add a small comment under the video in the comment section, to maybe it was an essential topic you speak about. and
Mm.
you know what you wanted to say. That's why it's the best that you write the comments for the gaps, you know.
It is okay. I guess I can still communicate to you in writing, isn't it?
Yeah. That's the point. That's the point. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no problem.
Yeah, before
There's no
we
problem.
had some seconds where you spoke about a very important topic, and I'm not sure if we have it in the recording or not. And if there is a gap, I would appreciate for the audience that you add this as a comment.
Okay. Yeah.
Know what
I
was it
get
about?
you. Yeah.
Yes.
Be-
Okay,
Because
Kayunda.
now what I understood is that you
Yeah.
asked me question about biography and you asked me
Yes.
about my experiences, isn't it?
You're
Then
right.
I told you about my educational background, my experience in education, and the challenges, some few challenges, which
Yeah.
generally education in Uganda.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll be able, I'll be able to do that.
That's
Okay.
nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's very nice. Kayunda, for today, I stopped the recording. We can say
Yes.
goodbye to the audience.
Yes.
We stick
I will
here
do
some
so.
minutes, but goodbye to
Okay.
the audience.